Hey guys, welcome to this classification of iris dataset Python Sklearn video. So what is iris? Iris is the family in the flower which contains the several species such as the Iris setosa, Iris versicolor and Iris virginica. And this iris flower dataset consists of 150 samples, 3 labels, and it has 4 features: sepal length, sepal width, petal length, and petal width in centimeter. And if you want to see this on Python code, we have to from Sklearn datasets import load iris, and our iris variable if you want to see this iris case on Sklearn library, we have to print that. And these are our keywords, and if you want to see that summarize information, we have to print iris, and you see that our summarize information is here, and we have 3 class and 4 attribute information and dataset characteristic. And if you want to see our target names, we have to print iris target names, and you see that these are the target names which we want to predict. And also there is a feature names, and these are our feature names. If you want to see options of data, we see that our data is n-dimensional NumPy arrays, and if we want to see structure of our data, we have to print iris data shape, and here we have see that first and 150 different flowers, and they have 4 features and also 2 dimensions. And don't forget, in our Scikit-learn library, the first value indicates the number of samples and the second value indicates the number of attributes. If we want to see the quality values of the first 5 samples, we have to write print iris data and first 5 row, and we see that 4 attributive values of the first 5 flowers are displayed on the screen, and the first one is sepal length and sepal width and petal length and petal width, and this is for the first flower. And of course these values are respectively and 5.1 sepal length and 3.5 sepal width, and like this. And our target array shows the type of each flower. And if you want to see these arrays, and print iris, and we see here 150 values, and our zeros shows us setosa, and ones shows us versicolor, and 2 shows us virginica values. Guys, this Sklearn library in Python absolutely machine learning courses is like a hello world in machine learning course. Now let's try to building a machine learning model and try to guess the type of flower using an iris flower measurement. First, we need to know if model is working properly, and for this, dataset is divided into two parts to evaluate the model. One of these parts is used to create machine learning model, and this is training data. The second one is used to evaluate how the model works, and this is the test data. And in Scikit-learn library, there is a function which called train, test, and this separates the data and shuffles the rows. And 75% is education data. The 25% is our test data. The education meaning training. These rates may vary, but this is usually the case. And in scikit-learn, data is expressed in capital X and labels are expressed in lowercase y, where X is a two-dimensional array, that is the matrix, y is a dimensional array, that is a vector, and y is one-dimensional array. And these are come from math, which is f of x equal y. And I mean x is the input and y is the output. And for this, from Sklearn model selection import train test split and this train test split function mixed our data, and we want to mix cause we don't want to get less 25% constantly, because the data points are sorted by targets. But first, let's look at the structure of educational data, and we have to, and for target y, and we see that x train two-dimensional array and y train is one-dimensional array. And for test data, and x test, and now we see that the train data consist of 75% and test data consist of 25%. And again, x is two-dimensional and y is one-dimensional array. So before the setting machine learning model, we have to preliminary examination of our data, and also data visualization. We do this for to eliminate inappropriate situations, and for this we have to import pandas library as pd, and our iris data frame variable should data frame and also columns, and we should use pandas for 2 by 2 arrays, and pandas library allows us to visualization 2 by 2 matrix graph. Sorry. And for plotting the graph, and for this plotting graph for pandas library, we should use scatter matrix. And again, from pandas plotting, import scatter matrix. And to see the chart between lines, we should use the command matplotlib inline. And for scattering matrix to color the data according to its types, we should use white rain for C variable, and for fixed size, this is fixed size for width and length for graph. To shown point as points, we set marker equal O. And for rectangular widths of histograms, we should hist and for the size of dots, we should s variable equal 80. And for the appearance of points, we should set alpha 0.8. Sorry guys, this should be equal, and this should be curly brackets. Now we got our data visualization, and if we see that sepal length minimum value 4.3 and maximum value 7.9, and we see here graph the minimum value and the maximum value 7.9, and the minimum is 4.4, about 4.3, 4.4, like that. And the others are the same. The first one is sepal length, and the other second row is here, and these three graphs for our class, which is here Setoso, Versicolor, and Virginica. And there are a lot of classification model on Sklearn, and we gonna use here k nearest neighborhood point model, which is easy to learn. Model building is done only from training data. For a new data point, the algorithm finds the training data point closest to that, and that the label of the training point is assigned to the new data point. And for that we have to import K-neighbors classifier from Sklearn neighbors import and also want to create new variable, call this knn, and set and neighborhoods equal 1, and we just use the train data for x and y. This function returns to knn object itself, and these variables are default, but they can changeable. And Sklearn expects data to be a two-dimensional array. That's why we need to import numpy as np and creating our x new. And let's assume that our sepal length is 4 and sepal width is 3.3 and petal length is 0.4 and petal width is 2. And I want to see this shape, and here are 4 measurements of a single flower in a, and we need to predict a method for determine our class and type. For this x new, and we print out predict class and also our predict type. And according to our model, our class predict class is 0 and predict type is setosa. Remember 0, 1 and 2 from here, our iris target. And using the model we built, we can make an estimate for each iris flower in the test data, compare the result with their actual results so that we can measure how well the model works. So using x test, our y predict equal knn and predict our x test. So if you want to see y predict, so these predict values according to x test function. Let's compare these predictions with their actual text. We can do this with mean command in numpy library. So print mp dot mean y predict equal y test, and here we find the average of how much they are equal to real species. And perfect. With this value we can say that the model correctly predicts the new iris data by 97%. And we can also use that knn score method for finding same value, and we got 0.97 again. And using this model, the botanist can accurately estimate the type of iris flower data by 97%. And here we can do this with supervised learning model. And this model estimates 97%. Thank you for watching, guys. Also sorry for some microphone problem, and see you again. Bye.